Welcome to a Wednesday, September 4th, 2024. Time for our daily show, Litter Media Live. I'm Dan Ramey, and in for Mike Smith today is that guy without a beard.
No beard.
Yeah.
I could tell that you and Mike were getting envious of my beard, so
You think
I had to get rid of it.
Yeah.
That was exactly it.
Most of what I wear now is gray, so.
Yeah. I have a buddy in the Air Force, and he's never had facial hair, and he's
being in the Air Force.
Well, he couldn't grow it. He's like Mike. But now he's trying to grow a mustache, so he currently has the worst mustache I've ever seen. And I just wanted to show him how it was done.
Yeah, Dan Jr. goes through that too. He can't seem to grow anything on the side, so he goes with a goatee. And even it's not connected.
Yeah.
So, like, when are you going to shave that chin, mister? All right, welcome to the program. As we've said before, you never know how this thing's going to start. But coming up in a moment, we'll take a look at news. We'll have also a discussion about sports and this state in history. But first, we start off with a look at our forecast and how to prepare. Man, what a pleasant morning it has been walking out. And I wondered why the air conditioner wasn't kicking on. And when I got out there, I saw why. I'm like, oh, well, no wonder.
Walking to my car this morning, I was a little chilly.
Is that right?
A little bit.
Yeah, in Chile. You were a little chilly in Chile.
Yes.
Mostly sunshine through tomorrow. High temperatures will be in the low to mid 80s. Very comfortable. Rain is possible Friday and much cooler for the weekend with daytime highs of 69, lows of 45. From what I saw on TV, some of the meteorologists were saying that the rain that we'll have Friday is most likely to be around kickoff time for football. So wear some rain gear.
Okay.
And we'll have to make sure we have the protective covering for the cameras at our Litter Media Game of the Week, which is Logan Elm and Miami Trace. So we'll talk more about that coming up in sports in a matter of moments. But first, let's tell you about our sponsors, Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Our air conditioning went out the other day. They got it fixed for us, and that wasn't going through my mind when I wondered why it wasn't kicking on this morning.
Because you had so much trust.
Yes, because they are your trusted comfort advisor. They were my trusted comfort advisor this morning. Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. When you click on this ad anywhere you see it on our website, littermedia.com, it takes you right to AccurateHVAC.com for more details about their service territory and what they can do for your home. Are you looking for a beer that satisfies your thirst and love of country? Armed Forces Brewing Company brews beer for patriots. Celebrate freedom with every sip. Armed Forces Brewing Company. Freedom never tasted so good.
It's time to get serious about your lawn. It's time to step up to the best mower brand money can buy. For nearly 4 decades, Skag has been the easy choice for lawn care professionals. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best when it comes to mowing your lawn. There's sure to be a Skag model that's perfect for your yard, big or small. Make your lawn the envy of the neighborhood. Visit your local Skag dealer today. Skag, simply the best.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Haynes Total Healthcare Center is celebrating 50 years of serving the chiropractic, physical therapy, and nutritional needs of the community. Click on this ad anywhere you see it on lettermedia.com, and it will take you right to their website to learn more. HaynesHealth.com.
There we are.
Yes.
Back at it again.
I had to scroll to find us.
Well, you were doing that, and I was still sharing. So let me finish up that share right there so that people will know, hey, we're on live here today on Facebook. Coming up in a moment, we'll take a look at some of these news stories, but some you can find on our website, littermedia.com. You'll also find high school scores of the events that have been going on our score page. Just click the sports tab, And while you're there, also find the Players of the Week that we've had throughout this season so far. And you'll even find the Player of the Year on there, speaking of Cole Miller from last year and his efforts at the state track and field meet where he won 3 state championships.
What a stud.
That just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
We want to start off talking about Oktoberfest, which is coming up in September, which is this month, September 21st, here in Chillicothe. Yesterday, we had the opportunity to sit down and talk with downtown Chillicothe, Ohio's Tiffany Baldwin, and she's wearing the shirt sporting Oktoberfest, and a lot of the excitement is around the Wiener Dog races, and they've added a new contest.
The main thing that's different this year is we are starting an hour earlier, which is 3 o'clock versus 4. And we're adding a dog costume contest this year, whereas we didn't have that yet last year. We'll still have the Wiener Dog races because that was a huge hit last year. But we want to find another way for people to involve their dogs because people love their dogs. So that's what we've added this year.
The Wiener Dog races occurred in the majestic green space, right? Stay in the same area?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
It's easier to corral them in that area.
And if you ever tried to corral Wiener Dogs, how many entries did you have last year? Was there like 50?
Yes. And that's what we're going to cap it out again this year.
Is that
It's
right?
50 for both the races and the costume contest.
And, of course, you can find all that information on our YouTube channel from our conversation with Tiffany Baldwin yesterday. We were talking about the Stein holding contest yesterday during that interview. My brother played in a high school all-star band and toured Europe with this band. This has been back in 1971, I believe it was. And he brought back a Stein for Dad, and from when they had stopped in Germany. And so it sat on top of our, on display. Mom had like plates and all kinds of stuff around the top of the kitchen cabinets, and one of those was the Stein. The other was this Royal Guardsman that was a doll, basically. It had long eyelashes and all this kind of stuff. He said, I brought this for you. I said, great, thanks. You got me a doll.
Is a Stein just a tall mug?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it had the, you click the lid. It had the lid on it and everything. So, yeah, thumbs up for that Stein that Mike got my dad.
Neat. In other
Just
news,
making it,
Ohio University Chillicothe invites the community to celebrate Constitution Day on Tuesday, September 17th, with a panel discussion entitled Freedom of Information Past and Present in the Public Library at 4 p.m. in the Bennett Hall Auditorium. The panel will explore the historical role of libraries and the modern challenges posed by disinformation and social media. James Hill, Executive Director of the Chillicothe and Ross County Library, will moderate the discussion. Panelists include Aaron Lyons, Enrichment Director, Jen Sloan, Access Director from the Chillicothe and Ross County Public Library, and Drew Wichterman, Director of the Pickaway County Library.
When did you get Drew back in here? We haven't talked to Drew for a while.
Yeah.
He's been director of the Pickaway County Library now for a little over a year, I think. So it'd be nice to have him back again for another visit. As travelers turn their vacation aspirations towards spooky encounters, live Oktoberfests, and cider-fueled pumpkin patch rolls, the Ross County Chillicothe Convention and Visitors Bureau announces the debut of the official 2024 Ohio Fall Events Guide, featuring numerous events such as the Frankenstein Experience at Haunted Mountain up on Sugarloaf Mountain Amphitheater, the Chillicothe Halloween Festival, the Fall Festival of Leaves, along with the many others. Now available online, the guide spotlights standout events from each of Ohio's 88 counties and showcasing a total of 440 must-see happenings across the Buckeye State.
That's a lot of happenings.
It is a lot of happenings, but check that out on our website.
And as urban development expands into the rural countryside, so too does the need to practice safety on public roadways. During harvest season, there is an increased traffic flow on rural roads with agricultural implements and grain trucks. Protecting property and saving lives of both the farm family and the general public are the underlying goals for roadway safety. Motorists should only pass on a double yellow line when the slower vehicle is proceeding at less than half the speed of the speed limit applicable to that location. The faster vehicle is capable of overtaking and passing the slower vehicle without exceeding the speed limit, and there is sufficient clear sight distance or center line of the roadway to meet the overtaking and passing provisions of the slower vehicle. Is that a lot of...
Sounds like it came right out of a textbook.
Mike Smith mumbo jumbo that he wrote there? When you're behind someone and they're going less than half the speed limit, then you can pass them.
Precisely.
If it's safe to do so.
Yes.
I think is what that boils down to.
And you're seeing a lot of combines getting into place. You'll find tractor activity, trucks pulling whatever implement is needed for the harvest season. So you're going to see a lot more of that in the coming weeks here. And a lot of it's already started just due to the drought conditions.
Yeah.
And also do be cautious as you're out and about on the roadways. Jefferson Avenue 3CU brings Praise in the Park back to Chillicothe's Yoctangee Park. That starts next week, September 9th, runs through the 13th at 7 p.m. each night. I've talked with some of my friends who attend Jefferson Avenue 3CU Church, and that event, which I've been around before, it grows. It's amazing. They started off with like 75 people in their first service outdoors. And then people in the park just start drawing interest. So they come over and take a look. And I guess it grew to like 200 people on the last service that they had.
That's pretty nice.
And a number of people giving their heart to the Lord through all that. So it's coming up September 9th through the 13th. If you've never been to it, it's a free event, and it's all taking place in Yoctangee Park.
The church in Chillicothe Youth Group invites you to come out, play a game, and get some fruit and prizes at their Echoes of Mercy community event September 14th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the church off Western Avenue. Kids ages 4 to 13 are welcome. So, Dan Ramey, you are not welcome. Too old.
Too old for that event there. J216 Ministries was placed on hiatus for a little while. Reason being they had to switch locations. They had lost the place where they were keeping all the food and distributing food each week. Well, they're back in business. They've got a new location. So if your church, your sports team, social group, or friends like to volunteer with J216 Ministries, they ask that you give them a call at 740-634-0023. All help is appreciated as they have an urgent need for delivery drivers. Now, a lot of folks would drive to the location to get food, but there are a number of people that regularly go out with that food, and they've built relationships with people, and they make sure that they get food when they have that food drawn into them. So if you can help out in a special way, please do. I've got some friends who actually do this, and it really gets you out of your comfort zone in some respects. But to hear some of the success stories of knocking on the door for that first time, nobody coming to the door because they didn't want to see this guy, to building relationships and becoming friends, and praying with them and everything too. So if you can help out, again, that number is 740-634-0023.
You can help out your school organization and the environment by donating your aluminum cans during the RossCan Cycle Fundraiser. Donate your aluminum cans throughout the 2024-25 school year, and Rumpke will pay an extra $54 per pound. All proceeds, is that right?
It's probably 54 cents.
54 cents per pound.
I guess.
That sounds more reasonable. I was like, wow, Rumpke, let's go. All proceeds go to your chosen school and give them a chance to win a bonus cash prize, with the winner receiving $250. Drop off your cans to the Rumpke Chillicothe transfer station on Eastern Avenue in Chillicothe and tell them what school you are donating on behalf of. The program is in conjunction with the Ross, Pickaway, Highland, and Fayette Solid Waste Management District.
Our road report for you today comes through Highland County. Work for a culvert replacement project on State Route 138 between State Route 771 and Duff Road. This will occur daily for this construction. State Route 138 will be closed. It started September 1st, and traffic will be detoured via 771 to State Route 28 to US 62. The estimated completion date is sometime in the fall of 2024. And I will tell you from my personal experience this morning, 772 ODOT workers have been, well, and I think they've got some construction workers, another company that have partnered with them. They're installing some guardrails. One of the spots is where I slid off the road one year.
They did that just for you, Dan.
Yeah, but 15 years too late. I was following this truck, and his tire tracks I just couldn't get out of in about 5 or 6 inches of snow. And I saw his truck in the ditch, and I thought, that poor fella, and then suddenly I'm like right behind him. So, yeah, that was an experience I had one winter around 15 years ago. But that area is getting a guardrail now. So then I would just be looking at damage to the side of my car as opposed to just a simple tow pulling it out. Yeah. So we heard a tow question earlier today.
Oh, that was good. Was that off the air? That was off the air.
That was off the air. We had a visit today with Shad Kaplinger. He's Lieutenant Kaplinger and the post commander out of South Bloomfield. I don't think he would mind if we told this.
I don't think so.
Yeah. He asked us both. He said, you're driving down the road, say you're going up 23, and in the median strip, you happen to find this jar with liquid in it. The first thing I thought of was a truck driver, kind of relieving himself, capping it off and throwing it out the window. But he says, and in that jar is a tow. Who do you call?
Yeah, he said, what do you do?
Well, you don't call Ghostbusters.
Right.
I said, I don't know, call the police. I said the hospital.
Yeah.
And you said call 911.
Yeah, I would call 911 and just say what I found.
And then I followed up with, obviously that's not the answer. What's the answer? And he says, you call a tow truck.
It's pretty good.
I'm thinking, I got to remember that one. I got to use that sometime at some point.
You got to tell that one to Amelia.
Yeah, I think she would have a good time with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can find that full interview on our YouTube, by the way.
It is up and running now?
It's up and running.
Okay. We talk about seatbelt safety and a whole bunch of other things, too. So if you want to catch that, it's available for you here on Facebook as well as on YouTube right now. Sports in just a moment, but first, let's tell you about Scioto Valley Dumpsters. If you've got a cleanup job that needs to be done, in some instances, they'll do that. They even do some demo work, too. But if you're doing all that work on your own, you need a dumpster. If you're doing it for your business or your residence, 740-253-8389 is the number to call for Scioto Valley Dumpsters.
Our financial lives have never been more complex, and some decisions just can't wait, which is why our K&B Mobility app gives you instant access to the financial tools you need wherever you are. Get a clear picture of all of your accounts, check your daily transactions, receive account alerts, and much more. So no matter where you are or what you are doing, you can make the best decisions for you and your financial goals. Download our Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
I was looking for a first job. I had been babysitting and decided it was something for a little more permanent. It pays very well. It's convenient. You can make your own schedule with the flexibility. That's something that I like. The people that I work with are great. I wouldn't ask for a better crew or management team to work for.
I'm a busy woman, and I'm not ready to slow down.
Tiffany's hip pain was interfering with her career and active lifestyle until she came to the Adina Orthopedic and Spine Institute.
Dr. Meshbach told me about same-day surgery. I said, I want it now, and I wanted it yesterday.
After a successful procedure, Tiffany was home the very same day and on her way back to enjoying the community she calls home. At Adina, we do what we love, so you can too.
Time for sports and our high school roundup. You can find these scores on our Litter Media score page at littermedia.com. But you'll see the volleyball results there. Adina, Huntington, Unioto, and Southeastern all picked up wins. Zane Trace rallied from a 22-13 deficit in set 3, but still found themselves falling 3-0 to Adina. Bloom Carroll, Logan Elm, and Circleville pick up Mid-State League Buckeye Division wins. In the Cardinal, Fisher Catholic and Fairfield Christian. OCC wins for Tays Valley and Pickerington Central over Lancaster. In the TVC, Athens, Nelsonville York victorious. And area matches included A win for Miami Trace over Waverly, Southwestern defeating Oak Hill, and Federal Hocking over Clay. I'm guessing that's probably Portsmouth Clay possibility there. Tuesday's boys soccer, Chillicothe blanked by Canal Winchester 2-0. Westland over Tays Valley. I think that might be Tays Valley's first loss on the year. Fairfield Union picked up a win along with Western over Clay. That was Portsmouth Clay. Zane Trace beating Amanda Clear Creek. Gallia Academy over Jackson. Miami Trace, Memphis, and Fairland picked up wins. On the girls' side, Chillicothe blanked by Lancaster 4-0. Tays Valley over Cristo Rey. That is I want to say that's a Catholic school in Columbus. I believe it's a Spanish-speaking Catholic school. Oh. May be wrong on that. Jackson over Unioto. 0-0 tie. You don't see that very often. Oh. Fairfield Union and Athens. New Lexington beating Logan Elm. Or Logan, rather. No, it was Logan Elm.
Yeah.
Okay. And Peebles over Piketon, Wilmington, Miami Trace, and Minford pick up wins. On the tennis court, Chillicothe continues their winning ways. They're now 8-2 on the season, a 5-0 win over Miami Trace. Waverly defeating Minford to pick up that win. So the number one singles players for Chillicothe and Waverly still undefeated. Lancaster picked up a 5-0 win over Groveport, and Tays Valley takes Reynoldsburg. Golf, Zane Trace wins a non-conference match with Huntington, Paint Valley, and Southeastern. Tucker Taylor of Huntington is your meet medalist there with a 40. Girls golf, Piketon over Sheridan, Fairfield Union, and Zane Trace, and Logan beating Lancaster by 10 strokes in a dual match in the OCC right there. In other sports, don't forget, our Litter Media Game of the Week has us heading up to Pickaway County, hosting Logan Elm and Miami Trace. And Mike Smith and BJ Daly have the call for you about 10 minutes before kickoff, which, unless they change up the game time like they did last week, it should be about 6:50.
Yes.
With a 7 o'clock kickoff. And you can scan the QR code there to find Litter Media Radio. If you can't scan that, just go to littermedia.com. You'll find the radio player right on the front page. And the Reds had last night off. They started off their series with the Astros with a victory on Monday. They'll play again tonight and finish up that series tomorrow in Cincinnati. Guardians ripped up the Royals 7-1. Now they've got a 4-game lead. Remember when the Royals came and battled with Cleveland last week?
I do remember that.
And they took 3 of 4 and tightened up the race. I think they had a 1-game lead at the time after that, but the game before they were tied virtually for first place. But now the Guardians flexing their muscles and saying, we're back on top, baby. 7-1, the final there. All right, that's a look at sports. Coming up, this date in history, you've dialed up the Litter Media Wayback Machine for what year?
1972.
All right, I remember this very well.
I don't.
I was a kid.
I
fell in love with the Olympics when I was, I think it was the 1968 Winter Olympics. I think it's the furthest one back I can remember seeing live. But this.
Where was it?
Japan. I think it was Singapore.
And where was this one?
This one, 1972.
Yes.
This is Summer Olympics.
But where?
That I can't remember off the top of my head. I remember 76 was in Munich, Germany. But
are you sure?
This one up. Maybe it was 72 was in Munich, Germany.
Looks like it on my notes
that's
here.
Right, because they were in Montreal in 76. Okay. And then a few years later, they changed it to winter, and then 2 years later, summer.
Yes.
And then winter and summer, 2 years apart. So, okay. So maybe the gray cells of my mind are getting grayer. So a good thing we've got the Litter Media Wayback Machine dialed up for 1972. Details coming up next.
But first, we want to tell you about Litter Quality Propane. 92 years of serving propane users in southern and central Ohio. Reliable supply, reliable people, reliable service. And I got that backwards, but that's all right.
For transportation options in Ross County, call Ross County Health District's Mobility Management Team, 740-779-9652. Each week, Litter Media presents the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Player of the Week. If you have an athlete to nominate, any amateur athlete is eligible. Simply visit littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. At the end of the year, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Make your nominations now at littermedia.com. Click on Player of the Week. Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today. This date in history, had I read that ahead of time, I would have remembered it was Munich and quick recall, but not so much. But we do remember this mustache on this guy, talking about Mark Spitz. It was 1972. He won his 7th gold medal at the Olympic Games in Munich, Germany. Spitz swam the fly leg, that's the butterfly, of the 400-meter medley relay, and his team set a new world record time. Remarkably, Spitz also established a new world record in 6 other events in which he won the gold. At the time, no other athlete had won so many gold medals at a single Olympiad. That is until some young buck named Michael Phelps, who now has gray in his beard, took home 8 gold medals at the Beijing Games in 2008.
That's a pretty good mustache.
Yeah, it's almost like a Tom Selleck
Not the
mustache.
best I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's better than yours.
No, I'm gonna disagree with you there. For those watching, whose mustache is better? And if you don't say mine, then Mike Smith will be back tomorrow.
We need a side-by-side of you and Mark Spitz.
Let me see if I can pull that image in.
Think you can do that?
Yeah. Hang on. Copy.
Mr. Magic.
Paste.
Here we go. Look at that.
Yeah, I clearly see a winner here.
And he's got gold medals.
No.
Oh, look.
He's surfing now.
Yeah. This is Mark Spitz on a surfing board.
The things we do on Litter Media Live.
Oh, things you don't expect. If you're listening to this on Litter Media Radio, you got to go back and watch it on our YouTube channel when it's available. That was pretty funny. Put that up here again.
I already deleted it.
Oh, you deleted it?
I'll put it up. I'll put it up there for you so you can play your game.
It's kind of, yeah, look at that. That is so cool. I want to tell you that my mustache is better than your mustache.
This is far too amusing for you.
Oh, golly. Oh, the things you stumble on.
He kind of looks like, who's Napoleon Dynamite's brother?
Oh, his brother.
Kip? Is his name Kip?
You think he looks like Kip?
I don't know. It's just the vibe I'm getting.
I don't
Maybe it's more like Uncle Rico.
I don't know.
It's a mix of the two.
Yeah.
And the hair is more like Napoleon.
I'll give you the hair. But not the Uncle Rico.
Okay.
Or the Kip.
Okay.
Now people are like, who's Napoleon Dynamite? Dynamite. How many years ago was that movie out?
I don't know. That was 2005, maybe 2004, 2005.
Was it really? Man, 20 years.
It's a good movie though.
Where's the time gone? Yeah, he brought on a lot of dance moves that we saw for a little while. And in fact, even during the lip sync contests at the Ross County Junior Fair Night for the 4-H kids, they were emulating and bringing back.
Yeah. Well, that dance is in it's in Fortnite. You can do that dance.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
I didn't see. I'm not a gamer, so I wouldn't have done that.
Fortnite's fun. We should play Fortnite sometime. We can do a Litter Media live stream of us playing Fortnite. Make a Twitch account.
Oh, golly. Where did we go off the rails? Coming up in a moment, we will be back with another edition of Litter Media Live. That is tomorrow. Do we have a special guest tomorrow?
I thought we had one every day this week, but I could be wrong.
You are correct. Bud Lytle and Cortland Hastings will be here tomorrow.
What'd I tell you?
And they will be talking about the 9/11 Remembrance event. There will be a parade that will take place from Western Avenue over to the, I believe it's the Lowe's parking lot. And they will be having all these first responders that will be recognized. So this is something they did a handful of years ago, and for some reason it came to a close. I think maybe COVID. But they've brought it back, and they're going to tell you about it tomorrow here on a special edition of Litter Media Live. So until next time, for Aaron Glandon and for Mike Smith, I'm Dan Ramey. And for Mark Spence, we'll see you tomorrow here on Litter Media Live.